Hi. We are going to watch the sequence of construction from a real schedule visualized in a 3D model using the AWP methodology. Why 4D simulation? Because it includes the 3D model and the time dimension. In this sequence, or path of construction, you can visualize how the different foundations, structures, and equipment are being installed as the construction in heaven ideal sequence. On the top left of the screen, you can see the progress by CWP and IWP. The objective is to plan ahead the EWPs, PWPs, and CWPs, so you have all the materials at site before starting construction, all planned in the schedule level 3. Let's analyze the project, first breaking it down by CWAs that can be considered as the specific area process-wise defined by engineering within a construction project. Our areas are underground 100, the pipe rack as 200 and 600, our CWA of study. Let's start with the civil concrete discipline. There are some CWPs grouping multiple pedestals, slabs, or equipment foundations. And breaking down those CWPs, we have the IWPs that will be handed over to the crews in the field. Notice the coding of the packages. CWPs have the CWA code first, then the ID of the discipline, and then a sequential 2-digit code. The IWPs have exactly the same code first, and then a 3-digit code for the sequential codification of IWPs. Let's check tanks. It will depend on the size and type of them. We can consider multiple tanks as one CWP, or even we can consider one CWP for one tank. CWPs have to be defined as a deliverable group big enough to encompass a set of drawings and a delivery of materials by a supplier's lot. CWPs is the common level of communication between engineering, procurement, and construction. Let's analyze steel. The structure 600 ST01 is one CWP, broken down into IWPs, one by level. The finger rack will be considered one CWP and also one IWP. Miscellaneous steel will be one CWP, broken down into multiple sets of stairs and handrails by level as individual IWPs. Check equipment. It could be one CWP for a big vessel, or one CWP for multiple similar pumps, broken down into multiple IWPs, installed on the same floor. It can be one CWP for multiple big vessels, but they're huge, so this is not a very well recommended practice. Is better one CWP per big vessel. When the equipment is on a structure, it's better to define the CWP by level, and it could be by the same type or including different types of equipment, depending on the agreement between the project team. Then, break them down into individual IWPs per each equipment, or just a handful of them, depending on size, complexity, and installation requirements. Now, delve into piping. This is one of the most complex disciplines, depending on the design of the line and the installation surroundings. As a rule of thumb, a group of straight-run pipe on the same level of a structure or a pipe rack can be considered as a CWP, and then break it down and create the IWPs by line. The downcomers on big vessels can be considered as one CWP per vessel, and each line as a separate IWP. It will depend on how many and how big the lines are. All lines surrounding a specific area, like these tanks, can be considered as one CWP, and each line will be an IWP. As a rule of thumb, an IWP is a 2-week task for a crew of about 5 people, and it is somehow between 500 to 2,000 man-hours. Do you want to learn more? Check this book in Amazon or Google Books. Precision Planning, Construction Excellence Through Advanced Work Packaging, AWP. This book is about how to implement AWP in your company and your projects. Do you want to visualize an EWP or a PWP? What do you think about having the CWPs as the activities in the schedule level 3? What about long-term planning from a waterfall perspective? What about medium and short-term planning from an agile perspective? Why do you need hundreds of thousands of activities in your schedule? What if you analyze your project by mini-projects? With a use case, follow step-by-step how to define and visualize by discipline the EWPs, PWPs, and CWPs. Following the use case, identify different scenarios on how to define the IWPs and visualize them in the 3D model. Check the sections on front-end planning and work phase planning, including the 6 weeks look ahead, weekly work planning, and earned value management. Precision planning, paving the road for successful AWP implementation.